Okay, notes for today are on something called absolute value. Again, a topic maybe you've heard of. So go to your notebook, your toolkit on page 14 or 19. I wrote it up here. Do not write that in your notebook. Just find the right page. The page should say addition of integers at the top. Talk about that later, but today is absolute values. So find the page, write the heading. You can pause me until you do that, and then be ready to start. Okay, absolute value has a very simple explanation or definition. It is the distance from zero a number is on the number line. Okay, that's a mess. So it is just simply the number's distance from zero. I'm going to draw a little number liney thing over here as an example. So, and I probably am going to erase this. 1, 2, 3. -1, -2. Wow, I didn't give myself much space there. -3. Okay, so if we look at, and I'm going to draw this, sorry. Absolute value is represented by these two straight lines, and we put the number or expression in the middle. So if we're talking about the absolute value of 3, it would look like that. And so if the question is, what is the absolute value of 3? Well, here's 3, and 3 is 1, 2, 3 spaces away from 0 on the number line. So the absolute value of 3 is 3. What is the absolute value of -3? Well, here's -3 on our number line, and it is also 1, 2, 3 spaces away from 0. So the absolute value of -3 is also 3. Absolute value is a distance measurement, which means it has to be positive because distances are a real thing and they are positive numbers. Okay, a measure of how far. So that's all it is. So we're like, well, that's no big deal, but we want to look at some examples of problems with absolute value in them. So this 6 plus the absolute value of -4 plus -2. Absolute value. So if we're solving that problem, what do? Well, it's kind of an order of operations problem. You think about these absolute value lines like parentheses. -4 plus -2, 4 negatives, 2 more negatives, so that's -6, still inside the absolute value lines. And then we bring down what we didn't use, which is the 6 plus. Now, now we can take the absolute value. How many spaces away from 0 is -6? Well, it's 6 spaces away, right? It's a positive number. So we bring down that. 6 plus 6 is 12. So that is our solution to that problem. I'm going to draw a line here so I can do one more example. Okay, this one says the absolute value of -7 plus 2 plus 5. Well, we have to find the absolute value before we can do anything else. So we can't add or subtract or do anything until we get rid of those lines around the -7. How many spaces away from 0 is -7? Well, it's 7 spaces away, right? There you go. So 7 plus 2 plus 5, well, now it's just an addition problem. So 7, 8, 9 plus 5, 14. Right? So the difference between those two problems, when I only had one number in the absolute value lines, I solved that first. The first example, I had an expression inside those absolute value lines, right? -4 plus -2. So I solved that first. Then once I have one number inside the absolute value lines, I can take the absolute value of that number, which is going to be positive, and then finish the problem. Okay, that is absolute value. Make sure you have it all written down.